What is your pitch for mindfulness?
Meditation isn't doing nothing. We spend half our day on autopilot.
For the entrepreneur, what is the benefit of being more present?
The business went completely pear-shaped at the same time as my marriage did. That's when I really counted on my mindfulness skills.
Diane.
Hello.
Exited entrepreneur, mindfulness practitioner for 20 years and business coach. For the high achievers listening, what are they missing and what does your perspective add to it?
I think it's about understanding yourself. So I think you need to know yourself to be able to make good decisions for yourself. And I think when you know yourself, it stops you holding yourself back. So I think so many people have got a lot of fears, fear of judgment, which I think is a big one. And I think that's very much linked to things like perfectionism, fear of success, fear of failure. So unless you know these things and you have an awareness of them, they're going to trip you up at some point. That little voice in your head is going to try and persuade you not to do something when really you can do it.
So how do I get that awareness? What's step one?
Step one is, first of all, taking away the stress. So when we're in a stress state, we're in fight or flight. And one of the first things that happens is that we shut down that logical part of our brain. So we need to be able to take the stress away from ourselves. And that also gives us some stillness, helps us find the stillness, gets us out of that fight or flight so we can switch back on more that logical part of our brain.
You advocate something called Gentle January, reflecting more so upon the previous year rather than going for this goal, aggressive mindset.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people at Mill Street who would take the latter. So why should I take the former and how did you come to that realisation?
So I think you can start thinking about it now. But I think just rushing to set resolutions, you're not going to set them from the right place. Mm-hmm. You need to understand yourself first. Mm-hmm. And then going back to understand what's going to make you happy. What do you really want? But is that not the most important question? How do you ever live a life that you want to live if you don't know where you're going? You don't know what makes you happy. A few years back, we went to Auschwitz. We did a tour of Auschwitz. And I can remember walking around and thinking, how did anyone survive this? And after that, I came across a book that was written by Viktor Frankl, who was an Auschwitz survivor and psychotherapist. And he said the people that survived Auschwitz were the ones that had a reason, they had a purpose. They felt whether it was they had to survive for their kids or they had work that they wanted to do. Mm. So I think that sense of purpose is really important for us to find. Mm. And I think almost that's a big part of our life's work, to work out what it is. And when we find that, I think that's our nirvana.
Diane, I'm going to tell you, I am a self-professed mindfulness skeptic.
Right, okay.
I've heard loads of people talk about it. I think there are benefits, but perhaps they don't apply to me. I can't see the true value straight away. So for myself and all the other skeptics out there, what is your pitch for mindfulness, as it were?
I think everyone needs mindfulness. We live in a very busy world. We live in a world that's always on. We have 70,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot to be able to cope with. And we spend half our day on autopilot as a way to just save energy, because if we weren't on autopilot, it would just all be too much for us. Mm. We're all little productivity bunnies. We're doing things all day, every day. Humans aren't meant to be doing that. So mindfulness makes us more human and gets us in touch with that human side, and it just helps us sit and turn our attention inwards. And the other thing I would say is that in the world of AI, and there's a need for creativity. There's a need for us to be more human and less robotic, less like a computer. I would also say another reason for doing it is it's good for relationships as well, because it gives us a bit of space between the thoughts, the emotions, and then the action we take. Right. So when we are dealing with other people, we can deal in a much more informed way. We can respond rather than react. And I do feel the world as a whole could do with a bit more of that.
How do you take mindfulness, which is quite an ethereal concept, and turn it into practical things that people can do?
Okay, so I go big on tools. I like tools. I also like to explain why things are working. So why do things and the science behind it. So when I work with men, I quite often work on those very logical things. How do you feel about the idea of sitting down for 10 minutes with your eyes closed, doing nothing?
feel exactly that. I'd be doing nothing when I could be doing something.
Yes. Okay, so meditation isn't doing nothing. Okay, it feels like that when we're not used to doing it, and from the outside it looks like that. But what's actually happening? So the skill of meditation is the ability to pull your awareness back from your thoughts, mm-hmm. so that you can focus on your chosen anchor. Okay. So in meditation, what we do is we often use our breath as an anchor, or we use a count. So we'll just count to 10 and just repeat that. And every time our mind wanders, we bring our awareness back and we notice, okay, our mind's wandered. And at first it might take like 3 minutes to notice we're thinking about what we're doing tomorrow, or all the doing things we've got to do. But that's the practice. It's that bringing that awareness back. And the reason we want that as a skill in everyday life is that so that we don't want autopilot, so that when we're doing something, we're present with it, so that we can use our full capacity to do it, and so that we're experiencing every moment through all our senses. So being present helps us experience the world. And is that not what we're here to do? That's living, isn't it?
And for the entrepreneur, what is the benefit of being more present?
It's actually being more productive and being better. Yes, yeah. It helps you, increases your focus, it increases your clarity. So you're better at decision making, you're more productive, you're better at relationships. I mean, so much of business I learned is about the people, the relationships. Mm-hmm. I think that's the number one attribute of so many successful entrepreneurs, is that they're good with people. They're good listeners. Yeah.
Sorry. So meditation's number one.
Yes.
Any other practical things that we can start doing?
So I encourage people to journal as a way to get their thoughts out into the open. And I find that's particularly good for men as well, who may be struggling with their mental health, or may also just be feeling a little bit lost, a little bit numb, because they don't need to speak to anyone else. It's completely private. Yeah. The journal is the best therapist. I'm
curious, actually. Yeah. As someone who's so vocal about the advantages of journaling.
Yes.
If you look back on your journal, what things in there would surprise you now?
The thing that comes to mind is actually how lost I was at certain times in my life. I think I had a lot of change in my life all at once. So the business went completely pear-shaped at the same time as my marriage did. So there was a huge amount of change in my life, and that's when I really counted on my mindfulness skills. And I think I'm so glad I had them, because I think life would have been so much tougher if I hadn't had them, because that's what I anchored myself to, and that's what really gave me that peace. So when the shit hit the fan big time, to be able to sit in peace and quiet and do nothing on the outside but just be still, that was worth so much to me, to be able to have that time away. I felt like I was able to step off the hamster wheel and just get a little bit and be able to catch my breath. Yeah. And that was so valuable. And I think that's what I say to people, your mindfulness skill is there to fall back on. It's like good training, isn't it? It's there when you need it. You do the training, you don't fall far, because you've got that as your security.
Diane, we have a closing tradition on this podcast, which is where the guest, regardless of who they are, answers this one question. And that is, what is one message that you've never sent but you wish everyone would receive?
Be the hero of your own story. Don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid of failure, and actually live the way that you want to. Make your own decisions, be self-compassionate, and don't be judgmental of yourself or allow the judgments of others to stop you. And we let that voice in our head and those fears hold us back. So I'd say let go of it. Let it be easy. Follow your intuition, but let go and just go for it. And be that hero, shine.
Diane, thank you for your time. I have now got a great understanding of why mindfulness is so useful, and being present and the benefits along with it. And I think your book is the perfect way to start. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Cheers. And I hope I've managed to persuade you over to the dark side of mindfulness and meditation.
We hope so. Thank you.